If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. And the thing with 2022 and the energy moving forward is what used to work in 2021 and prior, the old energy, it isn't as relevant now as the energy has changed. So if you keep using the old energy dynamic, now you might keep feeling stuck. You'll feel like you keep spinning your wheels. You'll find that the energy is not as conducive as it used to be to old ways of thinking and old processes that people used to use. Now, the thing is times are changing. I believe that there is a shift in consciousness that has been happening on the planet. And it's been happening for a while now, but every year it becomes more and more about refinement and things change. So what I've done is I've written down everything you need to know so that you can manifest more than ever this year in 2022, and how you can also really shift into a new paradigm of manifestation. I know for a long time, for me, there were certain milestones. I remember in 2017, there was a big milestone because I felt really blocked. And honestly, some of the things that I learned when it comes to law of attraction actually ended up being a little bit toxic. I remember learning, think a better thought, just thinking a better thought. And it was like, I was told that action wasn't as important. And I was told to just keep thinking about it. And I did that. I was working my 9-to-5 job, selling women's shoes. I would visualize being able to meet Tony Robbins. I would visualize being able to almost be given opportunity from people that would meet me. And that's what I would focus on. But nothing really happened. One time something did happen, actually. I did thinking about that and visualizing it. I did end up meeting Jack Canfield, who was in the movie The Secret and wrote the Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul books. And he came in and he was helping, he was buying something for his wife. And he walked over to my department because there was nobody else there. I worked in women's shoes, and he had me ring him up. And then once I was ringing him up, he had a Black American Express card, I remember, and it said his name on it. And then I recognized him through his name because he looked a little bit different than the movies from The Secret. When he was in The Secret, it was a little bit later, and it was years later, so he looked different. But anyways, that was something that happened. I was like, oh, look, I'm thinking about it. It's happening. And he did. Here's even the interesting thing. He invited me, not invited me. It was I was really cheesy. I was like, one day I'm going to do what you're doing. And I even look back at it now and I could see how cheesy it was. But he said, oh, well, actually, here's my business card. I have his business card somewhere in a Ziploc baggie or somewhere. And it says his name on it. And he said that he had some type of training for people that wanted to be life coaches. And it was in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it's $20,000. And I was working at Barney's, New York, selling women's shoes. I did not have $20,000. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I did not have $20,000 to be spending on that. And I remember keeping that to the side and always remembering that. And small world, years, 2 years later, when I actually went full-time on YouTube, I got invited to something he was doing in Costa Rica as an influencer. So it kind of came full circle in a way. But nonetheless, at that time, the way I was going about manifestation is I wanted to be put on. I wanted someone to discover me and to tell me how great I was, to put me out. And then what happened is that ended up getting me to feel stuck. Not only did I feel stuck, but I wasn't taking action because I was learning that it's all about thinking, or that it's majority thinking, and that you don't really have to take action. But then in 2017, I started to take action and I started to make daily videos on YouTube, and committing to that reality changed everything. But even then, I want to take you on my journey of what I've learned through manifestation to show you what the energy is like now versus what it was like even back in 2017 and how different it is. Because if you keep using the energies that even I used back then, you'll most likely continue to feel stuck because it's missing certain elements. Now, one of the first things I want to show you, though, is with this, thinking a better thought is so surface level, and most people are using the law of attraction for surface level things. That doesn't work anymore in 2022. Yes, maybe it works to a certain extent, but the thing is if we remain trying to manifest from our ego, if we remain trying to manifest from this level of what can I get? What can I get? I want this nice thing. I want that nice thing. Not that there's nothing there's something wrong with enjoying the 3D physical experience, but most people just focus on what they want. They focus on the desire of that thing, thinking that thing's going to make them feel better. Now, there's only a certain amount of energy that will come to you that will help you with your vision if your vision stays small within the ego. That's one of the main things that changes from back in the day to now. The energy that is conducive to you manifesting what you want in 2022 and beyond, you want to know what it is? Collaborative energy. It's when you're creating a win for not only yourself, but other people. And back in 2017, one of the things that changed my life a lot is I made the choice that I was going to add value and help other people. And I think that what happened then, in a way, the universe came to help me. The universe saw that I had this genuine intention, even though I can look back as well and see that there was a genuine intention to help people, but there was also a craving of people's validation and people's looking at me and going, oh, Aaron, he's so cool, or he's adding value. It's almost like I got value by thinking I was giving value. So it was my way of feeling significant and special. But at the same time, underneath that, there was a genuine intention to also help people. There's a little bit of a mix of both, if I'm being honest. And when I started having the intention of making videos to help other people, and I started making a video a day, and I did that for 3 to 6 months, and then my YouTube channel exploded, that's when the energy really shifted. Now, even more so though, than me making those daily videos and me putting out with the intention of adding value out into the world, one of the things that really shifted for me is my identity. Now realize this, you don't always get in life that which you want. And many times when you want something, you lack something. So if anything, the wanting is blocking that thing from coming into your life. But you will always get a reflection of who you are being. So what I'd like for you to look at in 2022 and beyond is, who are you being? Who are you? And realize this, in 2021 version of you to the 2022 version of you, they are completely different people, even if they look the same. Every moment we are a new version of us. That's what quantum physics shows us. Every moment is a new moment. Every moment is a new moment. The challenge is that many times we recreate ourselves to be the same version of us over and over and over again because it feels safe. It feels familiar. And in 2017, when I was working that 9-to-5 job, I made a choice about my identity. I simply decided I'm going to make a video every single day on YouTube, no matter what. And more so than just the videos being put out there, more so than even the intention of adding value to other people, even more so than just that, what really changed everything was I shifted into a new version of myself, and I decided that this is who I am now. And part of that too was then I started taking action. That changed my sense of self-identity. I started to see myself as a hard worker. And that changed my perception of myself, because prior to that, I was just trying to manifest from thinking better thoughts, and I felt very stuck. And there was a huge identity shift that happened then. But even then, what worked then is even different than what works now. And I'm going to share that with you. But let me also give you a couple different angles of this on how this works when it comes to the adding the value part of it. I've heard Tony Robbins talk about this before too, where he said that once he got his girlfriend or wife pregnant and he was going to have his first kid, all of a sudden, he decided, he made a choice that I need to be financially successful, because he said to himself, he made a promise to himself that I will only have kids once I'm financially free. So because it was then not just about him, but it was about him and his kid and his wife, he then tapped into a new level of himself. And within that year, he made that choice. He made more money than he'd ever made. Now, even beyond that, right now, there's a shift in consciousness that I believe is happening on the planet. More and more people are waking up. A lot of the old power structures are falling apart. That's what's happening right now. There's a lot of pressure that's being created so that people can wake up and realize that they don't have to keep living based on the social conditioning, the 9-to-5 job that you have to go work that's all keeping people in a stuck pattern. People are starting to wake up from it. Many of you watching this video are meant to have a part in helping other people wake up, or in you expressing who you really are, and it's meant to ripple out and affect other people. Now, when I went from myself to then me adding value and helping other people, there was a new energy that came to me that allowed me to then, it's almost like it helped me to where it wasn't as hard to manifest things. The way that we work is we live in a reality where there's a collective consciousness and we're all connected. And the way that reality works as well, and you can study quantum physics for this, you can study ancient philosophies like Buddhism, Taoism, which has a lot more to do with letting go. But more and more evidence is showing that we live in a form of virtual reality where we are eternal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. And one of the things it points to is that we're all connected. We are both a drop in the ocean and the ocean in a drop. And what we do affects other people. And literally, one of the reasons I think that what you put out is what you get back, what we call karma, is because other people are other versions of you. So the energy you're putting out is being reflected back to you. So in the same way, in our reality, the more good you can put out into the world, the more intention you can put out to help other people, the more the universe will send you more resources so that you can do this at a higher level. You can impact more people. And in 2022, what I really want to encourage you to look at is stop manifesting from a surface level. Stop manifesting from only the level of I want. And instead, focus on how you can make the world a better place. How you can be the bold version of you came here to be. What's probably holding you back are limiting beliefs, feeling like you don't have it all figured out, not having clarity with what you want, not knowing if you're worthy or if you even have a message that's worthy to share or whatever it is. I promise you, you will move through that stuff the moment you make a choice that that's who you choose to be. In the past, maybe you've just been choosing to be this version of you that's playing small. And what it is time for, it is time to wake up to a larger version of self. This video, I think, is a wake-up call for you to remember who you are. You are an eternal spiritual being living a temporary human experience, and you came here to awaken to a new level of consciousness. You came here to, yes, enjoy the 3D physical experience, but also to bring in a 5D level of consciousness. Really, what I'm talking about is heart-based manifestation. And because we're all connected, when we are in our hearts, not only is the electromagnetic energy thousands of times more powerful, but it also influences other people. It influences people that are around you in your life. Think about how that would change your family's life, girlfriend or boyfriend's life, or husband, fiance, wife, whatever, your kids. How would that change your life for you to be the most bold version of you that you came here to be? And to stop telling yourself the old story that you can't. That's just a story that's been on autopilot. But one of the things that changed my life the most back in 2017 is I started taking massive action. Now, massive action still to this day works. But the thing is now the massive action has to be rooted in passion. Has to be rooted in your heart. Has to be rooted in a strong why. I watched a TED Talk the other day that I've seen many times before, and it's by this guy named Simon Sinek, and it's called Start With Why. And basically, the whole premise of this book is that he keeps saying the same thing over and over again. He says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People buy why you do what you do, not what you do. And he kept saying that over and over again. He shows this little chart. You have this circle right here, and it says why in the middle. And then above that, there's another circle that says how, and then beyond that is the what. Now, what most people are doing with manifestation is they are focused on the what, and that's when you're thinking better thoughts. And when you're thinking better thoughts, it's like, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? It's surface level. What do I want? Surface level. And the thing he was showing is that brands and Apple computers, by the way, Apple, the company, one of the reasons they're such a big company is because they have a strong why, a purpose. When you're buying Apple, I'm recording this on an Apple device right now. I have an Apple here and I have an Apple there. I have like 3 Apple computers in my room right now. Why do I buy Apple? Is it because it's the best computer? Not even necessarily, even though I'd probably say maybe it is the best computer. It's because What Apple represents is innovation, doing things differently, slink, simplicity, design, minimalism. These things, it resonates with the why. And because of that, that is what's propelled me to buy subconsciously or consciously. So what Simon Sinek was talking about in this TED Talk is people buy why you do what you do, not what you do. And the same way in 2022 and beyond, when it comes to manifestation, you have to have a strong why, a strong purpose behind what you're doing. And if you don't, if you're just focused on the what and even the how, which is like the massive action maybe, it isn't going to really be fruitful for you. It's going to require a lot of hard work. It's going to have you spinning your wheels and feeling stuck because once again, it's surface. With manifestation, the key to this is getting strong and very clear on your why. What is your why? What is your purpose? What did you come here to do? What virtues are you living by? I believe everybody listening to this, you came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness that's happening on the planet, whether you're aware of it or not. And I believe that one of the ways you are a part of that shift in consciousness and elevating your own level of consciousness is through finding your why and going after your purpose. Your purpose is your why. Doing what you love. As you do that, that puts you into the highest frequency state. When you are doing what you love, you add value to other people just by being you. And the key to this is getting out of the perfectionism that you might have. Many people in 2021 and 2022, it's not going to serve you any longer to have a perfectionist mentality. Perfectionism, I want to honor you. You got this perfectionist mentality because you have such high standards on yourself. I think that's awesome, but also I think that's holding you back. Because one of the reasons we use perfectionism is because we put this really high standard that something has to be perfect for us to put it out. But guess what? The perfect isn't even really resonates anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've made the perfect YouTube video and put all this intention on it. I've studied the SEO. I've studied and made a good hook in the beginning and done all the things that you're supposed to do to make a good video. And how many times that doesn't do good, but the one video I make where it's kind of sloppy, it's not even perfect, that does the best because it resonates, because it's real. People don't want perfect, they want real. Even if real messes up. That Simon Sinek video I was watching has 15 million views on TED Talk. And the first 10 minutes of the video has shitty audio, crappy camera because it was recorded a long time ago. Halfway through, some guy walks him up a new microphone and then the audio gets a little bit better. But it didn't matter. The content was good. It was real. What he was sharing about the what, the how, and the why was so impactful that I didn't care that it was crappy audio. And I recognized it was crappy audio, but it didn't matter. It didn't have to be perfect. The same way, I was waiting for so long to be on YouTube because I had to know how to edit videos. I had to have the right camera equipment. I had to have everything figured out. But then I realized eventually I'm never going to have it all figured out. I'm never going to be the best editor. My first video on YouTube, it says insert title here, right in the middle. Right in the middle, it says insert title here because I didn't know how to change it. I knew I was putting that up. I put that video up anyways. You can go watch it. It's crazy how much, once I started taking imperfect action, that's when everything began to change. Because you don't have to have it all figured out right now. And realize also, if you want to get, by the way, a step deeper onto why there's a perfectionist mentality there. You guys ready for this? Real talk. As kids, we may have thought that we weren't good enough. And if I could just be perfect, then I would be enough. And the thing is when we believe that, it's coming from a limiting core belief that says, I'm not good enough. I need to be perfect in order for me to be accepted, in order for me to be validated, and in order for me to receive love for others. And I'm here to tell you right now that if you put out a video or you just do whatever, you may not put out videos or a YouTube or whatever, or want to even share a message, but go after what you're passionate about and just be real. Just be authentic, even if you mess up. Some of my best videos on YouTube are, I have spit. Some of you guys like to comment and like, oh, he's got spit on his lip. He got this spit on his lip. He's like passionately flailing his arms around. He looks like he's some like loud Italian dude when he talks. I've seen many comments on that before. I have videos in the beginning where my eyes will open up like this. I'm like, welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. And people they're like, oh, his eyes, he looks like he's bug-eyed. I can't tell you how many times I've seen things like that, but it doesn't matter. Because why? Because I'm more so at my core, I'm not doing it just, so I get validation approval, even though I could see that in the past maybe I've done it a little bit for that. But I always remember my why. This isn't about me. This is about adding value out into the world. And just ironically, the more value you put out into the world, the more energy comes back to you. So one of the things I'd like to encourage you to do is to find your why. Why do you do what you do? What are you passionate about? Even when I'm looking at my own brand and everything I'm sharing, I've been like really studying marketing, really studying things, and I'm really getting to the core of who I am. Like, what do I believe about reality that sometimes I'm maybe afraid to share? I know, when I share some of the esoteric stuff, I believe we're shifting to a higher level of consciousness. And sometimes I'm afraid to share that because I think it sounds a little bit esoteric and maybe people will judge and I won't get as many people on board to believe what I believe in. But then I'm realizing that I think that that's part of the shift in consciousness is being bold and not being afraid to share what you have to share. So one thing I'm realizing is I believe there's a global shift happening. And one thing I want to do is I want us all to team together for these global shift meditations. I believe that there's this collective consciousness that connects all of us together. And what they've shown with the Maharishi effect is that when you get 5,000 people that are focused on when you get a certain number of people that are focused on one outcome, they've done this before where people did transcendental meditation and they focused on unity, peace, and love in the world. It decreased the planet's violent crimes 70% when they did that. It's incredible the results with group mass meditation can have on the collective consciousness. And here's the thing. I believe that there are people on the planet that know about the collective consciousness, that know that we're all connected, and they think that it's more important to keep people in fear mentality because then they're much easier to control. It's much easier to control resources when everyone's disempowered. But I believe that now is a time of awakening on a planet. Now is a time of remembering who we are. And what we could do is we can begin to come together and we can create this ripple effect on the planet of elevating consciousness on the planet. This is something Dolores Cannon, she has 19 books out. They're all transcripts of people that were in a deep level of hypnosis where they would ask the subconscious mind different questions. Thousands of people, all from around different parts of the planet, have said very similar things when they're in this deep level of hypnosis. That's all her books are transcripts. They've said in this deep level of hypnosis, I came here to be a part of this shift in consciousness. I heard the call. As the planet was starting to destroy itself, as there was a nuclear bomb that was placed in the 1920s or 30s, when they were experimenting with nuclear bombs, they realized that there was a threat on planet Earth. We'd probably destroy ourselves. So this call was put out into the universe for people to come and help. I know it sounds esoteric. I know it sounds weird, but part of 2022 for me is just expressing some of this weird stuff to you guys, if you think it's weird. But this is stuff that through thousands of different people all over the world who did not know each other said very similar things. And it's rooted in we are eternal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. And that this is a temporary life that we have. One of the things is we forget who we are so that we can then remember who we are. And one of the things we forgot is that we came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness. We came here to elevate the vibration on the planet. But we're also working against a certain number of people that want to retain in power. They want to retain people in fear. And when people are in fear, they're much easier to control. The challenge is that when people are watching the news, when people are tuning to those kind of mentalities, it's very disempowering. It's very much keeping people in states of consciousness of not taking action, just waiting for things to happen in victim mode. But what we must do together is we must come together to elevate the consciousness of the planet by doing different meditations, by group intentions, group manifestation. They've proven this before as well. I mean, it's in the book Think and Grow Rich. It's called the mastermind principle. When one person's focused on a certain outcome, it's a certain level of power. But when you get 2 or 3 people connected to one focus of outcome, it's even more powerful. It increases the probability of things happening. I think a lot of things as well when you look at like different sports teams and stuff. It's like, can they work well together and have many people focus on one outcome? Even with my team, when I'm growing this vision and growing this why, it's like we're all focused on a certain outcome together. It's way more powerful than just me doing it. So one of the things that we can all do, though, is we can all come together to shift our own level of consciousness so that we can manifest more than ever before this year in 2022. Now, this group manifestation thing I'm talking about is something that I believe is going to be more powerful than anything else I've ever done. I've done a group meditation before with 12,000 people, and it was so powerful. It was a global meditation back in 2020. The next day, the Schumann resonance was off the charts. This is like the Schumann resonance is like the frequency of the planet. It's this device that measures it, and every day you could find like the Schumann resonance from the day before. But it was literally like white the whole day. Now, something that we're going to be doing on March 18th, 19th, and 20th of this year is a 3-day virtual live experience called the Shift Experience. We're going to be using group energy, group dynamics so that we can raise our own frequency and we can manifest not only a better reality, but better reality for ourselves as well. We're going to use the energy of group dynamics to transform our lives. This is something that I believe is more powerful than anything else I've ever done. I'm excited to do this. This is a 3-day live event experience. It's immersive. It's intensive. It's virtual. So from anywhere in the world you can join. You can go to theshiftexperience.com to join. Theshiftexperience.com to join. I'll also link it in the bio. But in general, there is a shift in consciousness happening on the planet. And I think together we have way more power when we connect our energy fields together. And we can create not only our own dream lives, but a better reality. And it's something we came here to do as well. I think it's part of our mission. But when we talk about collaborative manifestation in 2022, it's about coming together, and it's about not just focusing on the self. It's about focusing on something larger. And when you start focusing on something larger, you get out of yourself. It's like there's more energy. There's more, universe brings more to you when you're doing and you're at service for a greater world. Now, another thing that I'd really recommend that really changed my life in 2017 is I was living as the cameo in other people's movies. Now, what I mean by that is you have a movie, you have the main star, you got the villain, you've got the challenge or the thing that the hero's journey that the hero's going on, and then you have the little side characters. And many of us have been living as the cameo in other people's movies. Maybe working a job we don't like. That's the cameo in that company's movie. Maybe working and being like the cameo and really wanting someone else to like. Maybe you're trying to attract love, or that's your intention. It's like you're trying to be a part of someone else's movie and you're making them the star. What happens when you do that is you put them on a pedestal, and then energetically they're treating you as a cameo. If you treat someone like a celebrity, they'll treat you like a fan. That's just the energy dynamics of the way our reality works. Because we are eternal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences, everything in our reality is just playing off the energy we're putting out. And if we're putting out cameo role energy, that's the kind of reality we're going to get. And that's also a lot of times victim energy too, because reality is just happening to us. And for a long, long time, that was how my reality was. I was living in the cameo role. I was wanting, I was desiring, I was doing what I was told. I was working a job I wasn't passionate about. Everything changed when I took back my star role. Now, taking back your star role doesn't mean you become a narcissist, doesn't mean the whole world revolves around you, but become the star of your own movie. Lead in your life. Find your purpose. You are on a hero's journey. And the key is there is this moment that the hero realizes your path, your mission, your purpose, whatever it is. And also that you're the star of your own movie. And when you do, you start to take your power back. And what I'd recommend is stop thinking that someone's going to come save you. I don't think that like Tony Robbins is going to meet me and go, like back in the day, Tony Robbins is going to meet me and go, Aaron, you would just look so awesome. I'm going to put you on my stage and stuff. That's literally what was going on in my mind. I felt so entitled. But instead, become the star of your own movie, but also find your why. That's probably the missing key for many of you listening, is find your why. Why are you doing what you do? What are you really passionate about? If you focus on the why, the universe will naturally give you more and more resources, and then just know that your why will also trickle out to other people to transform them. But thinking a better thought does not work anymore, because thinking a better thought is the what. Thoughts are surface level. Materialistic things are surface level. The key is manifesting from a level of purpose, from a level of adding value to other people, from a level of wanting to help the collective consciousness. And when you are being the most authentic version of you, you are helping the collective consciousness. The thing is, though, is there are people on the planet that I think understand that when people are in that fear mentality, they're much easier to control. So what they do is they keep putting out that kind of energy so that people start and keep playing small. And also so that people are compartmentalized. People don't unify together. And one of the things we can begin to do is we can begin to unify together in group intention and group energy with one outcome. The new earth, whatever we want to call it. A planet where there's connection, there's community, and also we are able to all live from our hearts. That's something that we're all learning to do. So like I said, go to theshiftexperience.com if you guys want to check out that, and realize as well that heart-based manifestation is really about getting into your heart and even just putting the energy there for a couple minutes a day. When you do that, everything begins to change. And when you do that, it's like there's a whole new world for you, because the electromagnetic energy of your heart goes out thousands of times more energies put out than from the head. And most people prior have been creating from the head. So it's time to wake up to who we are. It's time to stop thinking about a thought. And it's time to also focus on who are you being. Take on that identity. Just decide it's who you are now. You may have thought, oh, I'm a 9-to-5 job goer. I used to be really disheartened too, because I would see people like Gary Vaynerchuk, who never had a 9-to-5 job. He's a purebred entrepreneur. I even look at some friends in my life that have always owned their own businesses. My friend Victor never really had a 9-to-5 job. He worked valet, and then he had a personal training business. He always kind of worked for himself. And I would literally feel down on myself because I'm like, well, I used to have a 9-to-5 job, even though the 9-to-5 job I had was commission-based job. But still, because I had a 9-to-5 job, I thought I'm not a purebred go-getter. I'm not a purebred entrepreneur. But what I realized is, no, that was just something I agreed to for a certain period of time. My story's not static, and I can just simply decide that I am a new version of myself. And I did that. And it's I could never go back to having a 9-to-5 job now, but it's I've shifted my identity. Don't let that hold you back. You are who you choose to be right now. And your identity completely shifts when you go through that. Now, there's a 6-step process that I have for shifting your identity that I believe will completely transform your life. It beautifully builds on everything we're talking about in this video. Check this out. This is the 6 things that if you do for 2022 will completely transform your life. It's right there. And I know it'll make a very powerful impact on you. This episode, I'm going to show you the 6 steps that you can use to completely transform your life in 2022. I'm sure you've noticed 2021 has been a